What is up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to Silver Surfer's channel, and got a nice little informative video for you guys today, and been wanting to share this for a little bit of time, and recently I decided to let's go ahead and organize this and show you guys a little bit of what I got. So this video is going to mainly focus on finding valuable collectible currency within your pocket change, if you would, and a fun little hobby that you can do in the meantime as well. And that is looking for fancy serial notes, guys, looking for valuable collectible money within your own pocket change. So with that being said, if you haven't already, I appreciate you if you can go down and click that subscribe button, get me to that 1,000 marker. I'm just about there. Been on YouTube for about 6 years now, making videos, and I'm hoping to reach that 1,000 marker. So help me out if you haven't. Anyways, let's get started with this little video here. And this is going to be about looking for fancy serial notes, looking for things like this, star notes, etc. And, things along those lines. And so, with that being said, I really wanted to share this video with you guys for a while. Camera may be a little bit squirrely because I'm doing this holding it. So bear with me on that also. But what we're going to talk about today is going over the stuff that I have found all through circulation. So not only have I found this big pile of money right there, which is basically I just been kind of screwing around with putting together a district set of really before year 2000 district set of all the different star notes that I've found. And these are all of them from all the different districts, quite a bit that are still floating around out there in circulation. I think some of the oldest ones I've got are all the way up to like the 88-year series and so on and so forth. But there's a whole description. I'll leave that link also below that you can check out of what fancy serial notes are and what you're looking for. But this is just going to show you my entire finds that I've come across and kept. And so most of them are all labeled. So let's kind of start with the beginning here, and I'll just go through quickly about what this stuff is. So the first page is rare star notes. Right here you see a run of, you're looking for the total printing, guys, the total printing that's low as well as the run that's low. And so there's a few specialty series out there that are that were not printed all that much, and this is one of them. You can see 250,000 printed. This one was 320,000 printed. This one right here was only 500,000 printed of a run size of 250,000. I just found that note actually recently, pretty cool. And then it gets a little bit larger of total printing, which are not as valuable, but still some people do collect the run sizes that are lower and more what we call rare. And so you can see that one's 250,000. So in the beginning, these are just all the different star notes that I've gotten across. Again, 250,000, 250,000, so on and so forth. And so do these have a lot of value? These ones that have high printing, not so much. But there are collectors out there that do look for low run sizes, and that's why I pull them from circulation. They have to be under 640,000 run size for me to hold on to it. But the true winners are the ones that have a low run size and also low total printing. I want to stress that point quite a bit for you guys to understand and realize. That way you're saving the right stuff here. There's a lot of confusion on that kind of thing there. All right, coming up here, what do we got? Again, now we're getting a little bit higher. These are all organized going from lowest to highest. You can see the run size going up to 640,000. And so those are all the different star notes that I found that have a low run size and or low printing. Moving on, I have found a web note. This is a certain type of experimental design of printing that's like a newspaper press, essentially, where all sides of it is printed at once. This was done on 3 different year series, and this is the only one I ever found in circulation. You can tell that from the missing, it's just, all it has is a plate number right there, and then on the back as well, I'll show you. This is a really cool note I found. Check this out, almost a full entire ladder, 8765432. Pretty cool, man. If that was a 9 right there, which it wouldn't be because it only goes up to 96 million after a certain date. But if it was, it would be a very valuable note. But even then, this is the longest of a descending ladder, or any type of ladder pattern that I ever found. Really cool. So I'm going to show you guys the back of that web note. You can see the plate number instead of the bottom right corner will be up next to the In God We Trust. This is a Joseph Barr. I've come across a few of these. I just pulled it out. He was in office for only 28 days, and that's why people kind of hold on to these every now and then. They're worth maybe $1 or so over face value. All right, moving on to some of the less kind of fancy stuff, but still unique sequences that you don't see all that often. This is quad doubles, so two per each number. 1 1 4 4 4 4 5 5. Another quad double is 3 3 3 3 2 2 5 5. Same thing. This is a nicer, probably AU 2 2 4 4 6 6 6 6. This one's really cool. Almost a super radar. If that was a 5 in the end or a 3 in the beginning, that would be a very valuable note. But nonetheless, it has 6 zeros in the center, which I thought was neat to pull and hold. And you can see as this goes along, the fancy notes actually get a little bit better. And then lastly, another quad double, 2 2 2 2 5 5 1 1. I pulled this out. This has got 6 zeros. I'm a big fan of zeros, and so anything that's got 6 or more zeros, I'll hold on to. Really, you don't get into the actual fancy until you have a 7 of a kind. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. These are really neat, these trailing zeros. The BEP, and I believe they still do it as a practice, pools anything that has more than 4 trailing zeros for quality assurance testing. And so when you see anything that has more than 4 zeros trailing, definitely hold on to that. If this had like 87 million, that would be a very valuable note, and 80 million would be an extremely valuable note and extremely uncommon to find. Another one I found, 359, trailing 5 zeros. This is the only low number I've actually found, believe it or not. I consider low, excuse me, I consider low numbers below 1,000 basically. So 5 leading zeros. Unless it's a star note, I'll accept 4 leading zeros. And then I found a whole slew of different repeaters. This is where the first 4 digits repeat the same as the last digits. Or it's the same as the last 4 digits. 63, 73, 63, 73. These are about the most common, if you would, but still not common at all, of actual fancy serial notes. And you'll see all the different repeaters. And again, guys, everything you see here I've found from circulation of strap searching for the past 4 years plus. Another repeater. Another repeater. Some of them are in circulated condition. When, like this one right here, I was able to get at one point in time from my bank bricks of uncirculated money. That is essentially dried up, but nonetheless, I still find circulated notes with repeaters. Another repeater. 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 And I keep all of them regardless of the condition if they're fancy. I don't really care. As long as they're fancy, it's a keeper in my book. Repeater, repeater. That's a really nice uncirculated one. That was from a fresh brick that I got. Repeater. I just found that one within the last $1,000 that I searched. I get $1,000 a week from the bank and search through that as my hobby. And then this one I just found recently as well. So I get $1,000 a week and go through ones. It's a great kind of this pastime and yeah, really fun hobby, guys. And all this stuff is above face value. Like I said, I can sell all these for a few bucks after or above the face value, which is pretty cool. This one's neat as well. 2321, 2321, kind of an odd numbers, 2321 descending repeater as well. Got a repeater on a $100 note. Had to keep that. Why not? Don't search big denominations usually, but if I find them in change or whatever, then I'll hold on to them. 6 leading zeros, I thought that was pretty fun. If it was 6 leading threes. If that was a 6 of a kind, I wouldn't probably hold on to it unless it was zeros, but because this was in a row, I felt it necessary to hold on to it. This note is very special. This is the first note I ever found, and the first strap hunt that I've ever done, and man, if only that was 2 notes before, solid 8s, that would be a big fat note there. But anyways, I had to hold on to this as I found it. These are all binaries, 2 digits only, 8s and 3s, 8s and 4s, 5s and 8s, 5s and 8s, 4s and 5s. This is the most common fancy serial note you'll find. About 1 in 8,000 are the odds and statistics it comes out to. And again, check that first video I posted a while back of the breakdown of all the different types of percentages and stuff of fancy serial notes. And then 1s and 3s there. Back up, we got 2s and 6s, 7s and 3s. I don't find these all that much. This is a 7 of a kind. This is a nice note, a little bit better. 7 1s and 1 9 there. I don't find these all that often, and my theory is because they're kind of unique and they draw attention quickly as opposed to a radar or repeater. It takes a little bit more looking at to be able to discover that. And so I think people, even non-collectors will notice this, all 2s and 6s or all 7s and 3s, and pull them out of circulation. So I typically find more radars and repeaters, which are technically more rare than binaries. This is a nice 0s and 1s true binary that I found, the only one I ever found. All right, and then here's all my radars. So this is the same forward as the same backward, 7684, 4867. Radar. Tons of radars. I found more repeaters than radars. This is the very first fancy serial note I've ever found, the actual first one. Special, near and dear to my heart, this one. I still remember pulling this out of the strap after I searched about $15,000 in singles over a course of a couple months. And then this one, I thought I was about to give up hope, and this was what ignited it all and started it all. And this is a really cool quad-centered radar. And a couple more radars up here. Another radar. Found a radar on a 5, why not? Keep it. Again, I don't search bigger denominations typically, but if I see them in my pocket change, then I will pull it because it is above face value. Radars galore here, guys. Radar. Another radar. And last page here, some more radars. Radar, that's a nice uncirculated radar. I got that from Refresh Brick as well during my time of being able to acquire those. Another radar about uncirculated condition there. And then another radar. So that's what I got. That's all my fancies that I found. That's quite a bit, guys. I was asked by my buddy Dustin Whitty not too long ago about how many have I found in circulation, and I decided I actually never counted them up. And so I did so. And I think when I did that, which was a couple weeks ago, it was about 41 actual fancy serial notes I found over the course of, like I said, hunting these things for about 4 years now. And each of them, like I said, have value above face value. So I hope that you guys get into this, and it's a very pleasant hobby to, like I said, just go to the bank, ask them, say, hey, can I get some singles out? And then, you exchange, whatever 20s or 100s for singles. And most of the banks are pretty nice to be able to give you that stuff. And then, search through them. And my little kind of process of this is I'll go to the bank. I have 2 different banks, and that are not associated with one another, very close to one another, but I'll pick up 1,000 singles, I'll search through them, and then I take it to my other credit union, in which I'll exchange those for, again, 100s, and then take the 100s back to the other first bank and pick up another $1,000 in singles. And so that's kind of my way of doing it. That way I don't get repeat notes and search through stuff that I've already looked through if you keep using the same exact bank. Plus it might get a little annoying for the bankers, but I have not had much pushback. A lot of them are more curious than anything, asking what it's for. And I tell them I'm a little small business, if you would, and because I buy, sell, and trade, and this is a really fun way and a really fun hobby. And so I hope you guys appreciated this video. It did take some time to make, and let me know what you guys think if you guys hunt fancy serial notes, and shoot me a comment below. Until next time, Silver Surfer is out.